Crushing people. Never do that.
Never.
Good. Put your hands together for Tom Lucas.
Alright. I thought we were going to go with masturbation jokes all night, and I was ready to yank a few out, but we're not going in that direction. So I won't beat that subject. Alright. So sometimes I write things and I have no idea what I just wrote. And sometimes, though, they do find a home. And Brad was kind enough to include this in the April issue of Ghost Parachute. And it's called Freaky Phalanges. It was my wife who first noticed. We were on a lazy Sunday drive, the kind that we like to take to purge our brains of the stresses of the week. It had been a particularly bad stretch. Back on Wednesday, she suffered a crippling injury at her job over at the gift card kiosk, losing her right hand to what can only be described as a biblically epic paper cut. As we drove, she nursed her sore nose. She knew her bowling league days were finished and she was not feeling it. Meanwhile, I was coming off a tough week of auditing the financial records of a drive-through euthanasia clinic. It was clear that we had a lot of negative energy to shake off, so I made our drive considerably longer than usual. Unfortunately, the blur of the passing trees, the bright smiling sunshine, and the sweet smell of farm country did little to level us out. I should mention that we had also been fighting a bit because she had the nerve to point out that my hands didn't match. Can you imagine that? I assumed she was lashing out in jealous anger since I still had both, and now she only had one. I was wrong. I was driving my hands at 10 and 2, so the evidence was right in front of me. Indeed, my hands did not match. My left hand had become that of a baby's, the left of a man in his elder years. Smooth and small chubby fingers versus veiny paper-thin skin. Neither hand was mine, or maybe they were simultaneously what I once had and would one day possess. No matter, as they were attached to my arms, they were mine. I was going to need help fast. It took a few tries to get my baby hand to try to dial the phone, but I was still able to reach her family doctor, who canceled his usual weekend bender after I explained the rapid de-aging had moved past the hand and now was already up to my elbows. My baby arm was now completely useless, and the grip of my geriatric right was rather feeble. During the examination, I was having trouble breathing. Panic had set in. He just nodded and grunted as he examined my limbs. Cold and clinical, he jotted down a few notes and did his best to avoid making eye contact with me. Soon several other doctors arrived. Speaking in hushed tones, they carefully touched and manipulated my limbs. They asked me stupid questions like, does it hurt when I do this? Do you crave milk? Can you make a middle finger for me? Do you feel the need to cry out of frustration? And if not, why not? Is true love real, or is it just a movie thing? The answer to all these questions was yes, 1,000 times yes, except that last one. The gaggle of doctors retreated to the corner of the room. They spoke in mutters and whispers and harumphs and shouts. They waved their hands in dramatic, demonstrative gestures. They made points and counterpoints. They returned to me. I sat on the edge of the table, fully nervous and concerned for my well-being. I was asked to look to the right as they shined a bright light into my eyes. I was struck in the head from behind with something dull and metallic. I awoke in a padded room that had cameras in all the corners. I was told by a disembodied voice via loudspeaker that a small dimensional rift had formed in my chest. This was completely random and almost never happens, the voice said. I called shenanigans on that, because how would they have even set up a room for observing me if this doesn't happen regularly? It can't be cheap to keep a room with all this video equipment going, stinking liars. Now I've had a bit of time to live with this chest-mounted time tear, and the best anyone can tell me is that it's causing time to swirl through my body at the cellular level. I'm moving forward and back through the timeline with an imperceptible speed. I'm aging both forward and in reverse. I exist at every moment of my life simultaneously. This is how I can have a baby hand and an old fart at the same time. I haven't had the nerve to look in my pants. I'm not sure how long this has been going on. This has all happened before. This has never happened. This story is happening as I tell you. This story is an old memory. I don't know much, but I know this. one of three things will happen. I will become a baby and start anew. I will smell very nice. Or I will age to brittle bone and dust and explode without warning. I will smell awful. I can hear them placing bets while I wait. Old or young, fairly even odds at this point. I wonder what my wife would do with another baby. I mean, she already resents me. If I got all wrinkled and shriveled up, will she still have sex with me? Am I still married at all? When was the last time I saw her? Did I ever marry? Will I remember this? What happens next? What is the measure of a life lived in forward and reverse? The third thing that's going to happen is I'm going to start soiling my diapers, start right fucking now. I'm scared as hell, but I have to say I'm pretty excited about having a socially acceptable reason to ruin my drawers. You do have to look for the silver lining after all. Right. I have one more for you. It has a little bit more foundation, I guess. And I wrote this in Jeff's dining room. It's kind of like a misery situation, but the food's better. All right. This is appropriately called A Matter of Taste. It was a nondescript building on a nameless street in a forgotten part of town. The tattered flyer in his hand, faded and muddy, as if a copy of a copy of a copy indicated that this was the place. His desires screamed yes, but his body was tense with apprehension. Come on, Kevin. You know never to judge a restaurant by its facade. It's to keep the posers away. Inside that building was something legendary, something only shared in sacred circles. A rare kind of sushi prepared by a mysterious man, or woman, or maybe something else. A riddle inside an enigma encased in seaweed. This took me years of searching to find. It took bribes, promises, and flavors to learn all this location. Come on, man. Just walk up to the door. Knees locked, he had to wobble his way down the alley. His feet dragged beneath, their scrapes along the grimy cobblestone a lonely cadence. You'll be able to tell all of them that you found it, man. They'll be so jealous. It'll be okay. A thick iron door waited. Sensing his approach, muffled clicks from the deep within indicated some kind of life. The alley door popped open with only a small, protesting creak of its hinges. A disembodied hand, skin paper thin and veiny, beckoned from darkness, fingers twiddling. His hunger pang shut off any remaining instinctual alarms. He followed the hand into the shadows. The hand shoved a piece of sushi into his mouth. The sensation overpowered his gag reflex. Sweet, salty, oily, savory, chewy, umami. His brain reeked from its unexpected complexity. His knees unlocked and his legs gave way. Something was wrong. Knives flashed out like whispers from the abyss. Sharp like scalpels, it was moments until he realized that pieces of his flesh were falling away. Soon the flailing would end him. Why? He moaned. To feed the next guest, it said.